everyone, Jacqueline here. So today we're going to start some Snapdragon seed, and the kind I'm starting is the magic carpet here, pelleted seed. I love the fact this is pelleted. Now pelleted seed is a blend of clay and perlite, and they're using food coloring to give it that purple color so you can see it on top of the soil, which is fabulous. For any new gardeners venturing out and want to start Snapdragons, I highly recommend you start with the clay or pelleted seed. It's the ideal way to go. It makes it so much easier. Now there's 250 seeds in this pack, so you get a lot for $3.29 from McKenzie's. So you can do quite a few trays with this. If you like, you can even direct sow these. You know, I've had these come back from seed out in the garden. They sell seed and they're beautiful. Now the reason I love Snapdragons so much is not only the nostalgia of them, but the colors. They come in a rainbow colors just like ice cream. You got your peaches, your oranges, beautiful shades of whites, creams, reds, burgundies, shades of pink, every shade of pink going, including a good cotton candy color, purples. It's just amazing the color you can get these in. They are very sturdy once you get them going, and they attract pollinators big time. And they give you that splash of color that you need in the garden. Ideally, mass planting these works great. If you want to grow individual colors, that works too. You can color block in your garden with these shades, and they will look beautiful if you do them in rows. Personally, I like to scatter them throughout the garden in odd numbers like 3s, 5s, 7s, 9s, etc. You know, so they have that punch of color. Depending how you lay the colors out in your borders too, you can get it so it looks like there's an extra depth to that flower bed by layering these. Now these are something that you could put at the start of a border, right at the edge, or you could put further in the middle of a border, depending what you're planting. But all in all, these will attract a lot of pollinators and they will be glorious. I also like to use these in containers. They look beautiful in window boxes and in planters. I think they're perfect. You can put them in your vegetable garden too to attract the pollinators along the edges. There's just endless possibilities of planting these. So let's get started. So I've already treated the soil, the seed starting mix I should say, with the boiling water method to kill any gnats, and I usually do it a few days ahead. So that's done. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to use a regular tray to start these seeds. There is supposed to be 250 seeds in here. So these are pelletized, which will be nice. So I'm just going to sprinkle them out on top of the soil. I want to keep this simple when it comes to Snapdragons. I mean, if they need to be potted up later, great. But if I spread them out well enough, I maybe can get away without having to pot them up. Now, Snapdragons take a while to germinate. You're looking anywhere up to 21 days for these to germinate. So we want to take the time and get them in now and give them that time to put on some growths, because we're going to have to harden them off to make them strong to put out in the garden too. So considering it's the end of February, I think it's a good time. My last frost date's around May 11th. A lot of people here where I live always use Mother's Day or the Victoria long weekend as the time to put their annuals out. That weekend's probably the busiest weekend going at the greenhouses because everybody's buying their plants. So we're going to save some time by doing this inside, and then we'll be ready to go. I will tell you though, it is going to be a challenge. The more you grow, the more of a challenge it is to harden them off outside because you're hauling those trays in and out, and you're starting with hauling them out for like an hour and then you keep expanding on the time. So that will be a challenge for me. Rob usually helps me with hauling them in and out because it's such a process. So heads up for you, if you do start a lot, that's where the pain points are, is the hardening off. You can use a fan as well inside and should be using one as you go forward with your seedlings, but putting them outside is the ideal climate to harden them off. You just want to make sure it's at least 8 degrees Celsius, if not warmer, to do it, and not a lot of wind, because the wind will just zap your seedlings and they will be toast. I've been through that where I put them out and it was calm and all of a sudden the wind came up, because that's the way the prairies are. So you really got to watch your weather when you put them out. And if you can put them out in a sheltered spot, all the better. All right, so let's get this going. I think I've talked your ear off enough. And you can see here, like these are the things that a lot of people will freak out about if it's in their seedling mix. You know what? I just go with it. Things aren't perfect in this world, and I'm not going to freak out over the small things. The big thing for me when you look at a seedling mix and judging the quality of the seedling mix is how well the seeds germinate in that mix. If you got quality seed, that's the key. The rest of the stuff, like these little sticks and things, are minor little issues. And as a gardener, out in the garden, your soil is not perfect. You've got sticks and twigs and grass and all sorts of stuff in it. So why do we expect our seed mixes to be free of that? I mean, yes, they go through processing and they go through machines and stuff, but we do want rich organic seed starting mix. So I can work with this. So I'm just going to put a little bit more on here and smooth it out. This is really handy for doing this job. It saves me a lot of headaches. Let me tell you, I use it for to fill the bird feeders. I use it for dog food. I have a few of them and they work great for scooping. And as you can see, I'm just picking out a few of them. And we're just going to smooth it out a bit and see how much more I need. A little bit more. I don't want to overdo this. Now, the key about Snapdragons. Snapdragons like to be surface sowed. So we're just basically going to surface spread these seeds and we are going to just gently firm them in. They need light to germinate. That is one big thing. So I'm not going to waste time getting vermiculite and doing those things. I don't have any on hand. If I did, I'd probably sprinkle maybe a little bit over top, but I just don't have it. So we're just going to work with it. Make do with what you have. All right, so that tray is nice and full, and I'll just get this out of the way because we're not going to use any more of it. I would say, you know, there's about half an inch from the top. So let's have a look at these. And I tell you guys, if you can buy pelleted seed in the smaller seeds, like they're all pelleted, you're better off. I can't wait till they pelletize delphinium seed and some of those other smaller seeds because it makes a huge difference. So here is the pelleted seed, beautiful. And I'm just going to carefully sprinkle it. And because we can see, I can come through and come back and maybe spread it out a bit better if I need to, if I get like a whole bunch fall out of my hand. But this is just how we're going to do it. And I'll give you a close-up shot of what it looks like before I firm it in. And I'm looking for spots here where there's not enough seed. I like to use up all my seed when I start seeds. I don't carry seed over. I find the germination rate drops too much, and some of the seeds is a challenge to germinate as it is. So I don't need any more issues with germinating seed. So I just use it all up and buy fresh. Well, we hope it's fresh. You don't necessarily get fresh seed when you buy it off the shelf in like a department store or a home implement store, big box store or whatever, because I find a lot of times they'll take that seed after seed starting season is over and they'll put it in the back and then they'll bring it out the following year. So your germination rate not necessarily what you would expect it to be because it's already had that year sitting in the back room. However, if you go in there and the reps are there for the seed companies and they're putting seed out, you're good to go usually. All right, so we're just going to come through and I'm just going to pat this in to make contact with the soil. I'm keeping this real simple. I don't like to complicate seed starting at all. I don't know if it's because I'm lazy or the fact that, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. So that's kind of how I operate. So that soil's pretty moist. We're just going to spritz it a bit. Just to help penetrate that clay shell. And I just have my sprayer. And we'll start at the far end so you guys can see. And I'm just going to let you go over it. It's not going to be anything too crazy. perfect. And then we just put a label on it. All right, so I wrote magic carpet on one side, Snapdragons on the next. I just scribbled it on because as long as I can read it, it doesn't matter. And we will put the cover on it and move it to the grow station because they need light. So these are under my kitchen grow light. I have 2 of them in the kitchen, so I'm just using the one right now because I have too much stuff on my counter. But here are the magic carpet Snapdragons. Over here, I think I have more of the lupins and Panastium. Now I didn't do a video on the Panastium because I'm not sure how good my seed is going to be starting. So if it does well, I have so much seed, I will do another trade because I love them. If it doesn't germinate from what I collected, then no loss. So I'm not going to show you how to do something until I know my method works when it comes to Panastium because I've never grown them before. And then over here, we have milkweed. And it's very slow to come up. I probably should have stratified the seed, but that's the way it goes. But we'll see how it does. I'm in no rush. It is February and there is lots of time. Because if everything grows too much, then I've got to pot it up. So I'm trying to avoid that a bit this year and being a little smarter with my seeds starting because I'm in zone 3 and it's white out there. Check this out. We are not even remotely close to planting anything out. Look at all this. It is a sea of white. It's cold and it's windy. So you guys aren't missing anything here. I am jealous of those that are in warmer climates, but this is what we have to deal with, and this is typical Saskatchewan weather. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that I was able to share some knowledge with you or some things that maybe you hadn't heard of before. I highly recommend using pelleted seed when it comes to some of these small seeds. I'm really happy to see that Snapdragons are now one of the seed varieties that is pelleted. It makes things so much easier to start seeds. Now, Snapdragon seeds, these ones in particular, you sow on the surface, which I showed you in the video. So that is really easy. You don't really need to use the individual seed cells to do this. You can actually spread it on top of the soil in a regular tray. So that saves a lot of work too, because you just have to fill the tray, sow them on top, moisturize them, and away you go. These will self-seed, like I mentioned earlier, which is also another positive, and you can collect seed off these. So all in all, this is a very versatile flower that you can use in multiple spots in the garden. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, everyone.